Hi, how is everyone tonight? I'm Mary, and this is Living in the Light, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your true potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. Well, thank you everyone for being here this evening on this 2-2 portal. How's it going? Are we ready to get through this year and have all of our dreams come true and our desires come true? I am. I'm ready for that. I'm just ready to get rid of all that old belief system, everything from the past that was rotten and was causing me discomfort and was difficult. I want none of that. I just want easy breezy, everything to go well. So today's February 2nd in the Matrix work week. It's Thursday. And I'm so glad everyone's here. And I really appreciate everyone who's been sending me messages and saying hello and just giving me validation. So I know that, I am coming through and you guys out there are realizing I'm here, and I'm really grateful. And thank you. You're a wonderful being of light. I cherish all of you. Here we are living in the light. So we're going to get on to some of the topics. I always have to speak about dreams. I always have to ask about your intentions. I always have to say about having positive thoughts. So today we're going to have topics like materialism. Are you ready for the 5D timeline? And downloads during Ascension. Have you awakened? I think you might have if you've been here. I just want to say to you, all those out there that haven't awakened, it's not, they're stuck, they're brainwashed, they have this programming, these looping thoughts, they're in fear. And we've spoken about how fear is a 20. If you want to talk about frequency, vibration, and love and joy is 1,000. We are going to 1,000, aren't we? By the way, I apologize I wasn't here last night. I'm kind of fighting something. I'm rallying for tonight right here, but I've been wearing a hat all day, and I was like, I can't wear a hat during the video, so I'm not wearing the hat. But, I'm definitely fighting off a cold, so that's why I wasn't here, and I appreciate all your patience. Now, did you have any dreams last night? Because we know that this is essential to keep track of our dreams. Now, here, for example, is a dream journal. This is the one that I actually have on Amazon, Mary Amy. And I brought this out. I grabbed this because we're going to get into downloads. And I'm going to tell you some of the downloads that I had, because look what I saw. Can you see that right there? What does that look like? That's an ET, which is kind of like what's on my shirt today. It's a gray alien. And I did have some communications, and I had one of you guys, one of the viewers out there say to me, can you tell us about your downloads and your light codes? And so I'm going to get into that. Back to the dreams. Let's see. I think last night I was so tired and I didn't feel great that I don't remember my dreams. Are you remembering your dreams? Because they're essential to kind of guide you. Maybe your dreams are you are running. You have this fear throughout your dream. You might have had a recurring dream your whole life, or you think it's a recurring dream. But really, no dream is identical. What it is it's actually a continuation of the last one. So pay attention. Now, I shared with you that I used to be running in my dreams. Every night I'd be running, and I don't know what I was running from. So one day I just said, that's it. I'm going to stop running. And I stopped running, and I unblocked myself. And it's when you're sleeping, your sleeping state, you can problem solve. If there's situations that you can't deal with during your waking life, pose the question before you go to sleep to yourself and say, whatever it is, help me solve this. Give me some answers while I'm asleep, and they will come through. Now, if you're someone who can't remember your dreams, I'm going to share with you that if you say to yourself, I would like to remember my dreams, maybe it's not going to happen the next morning, but it will happen within 2 weeks, as soon as you start focusing on it. We always say it's about acceptance, isn't it? Everything's about acceptance. Everything will come to you. Now, really, we always had all these frequencies coming off of us, all this energy. We spoke about energy the other day. Don't we have all this energy within us? We have our emotional energy, our spiritual energy, our mental energy, our physical energy. And we have all this energy. We're pretty complex, aren't we, in this vessel? And as I've told you, that's the gold. Natural, not man-made, organic, not artificial. And that's the way we should go, because this is what we were actually deceived about. We were told, look over there, don't look over here, look over there. Why? Because they didn't want us to really know that. What did they do? They brainwashed us. They said, here, do all of these things. Go to school for 12 years. That's how you're going to be successful. It was all about being competitive, capitalism, consumerism. Go buy stuff. Do you have enough money? Go buy stuff. Pay your taxes. We're not having any fun, are we? I'm not having any fun. I'm about to have some fun. Are you? So together, we're realizing that we can create with our thoughts. And as we get into our thoughts, we can create our physical reality. Now, if so many of us are thinking the same way, visualizing the same way, going into a meditative state and imagining this other life, this other reality where it's peace on earth, there's nature, we're fulfilling all of our dreams and desires. That's the world that we want to go to, where we come out of our homes and we hug one another. Don't you want that? I mean, what is with all this greed and hate and all materialism? We're going to get into that in 2 seconds. So how could you reach your fullest potential with barriers, blocks, pain, and hate? Up until now, I don't think you could. None of us could. How could we really be our best if we were always feeling stress? Hurry, 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 crisis. If it wasn't one thing, it was another. It was something in the world that was going on, whether it was some kind of illness, stock market's going down, there's a war, whatever it was. There was always something that was distracting us from really reaching our fullest potential. Now, there are those out there that maybe got to the tippy top. And when I say the tippy top, I mean those elite, some of these that were born into wealth, the kings and the queens that were royalty. That was genetics, wasn't it? That was just they were born into it. Now, it's not that easy to get all the way up there unless you kind of sacrifice. And what are you sacrificing? Well, you're putting your hand out here and you're getting money, or you're doing something that maybe not is so honest. Because let me share with you, if you're an honest being, then those that are in positions of power don't really choose you to go all the way to the tippy top, because they know that they can't take advantage of you. They know they can't manipulate you. So they're going to push you to the back of the line. They're going to push you back on because you're not going to cut corners like they would. So just know 50% of those out there are lying. 50% of those out there are not being honest. So if you go into a situation and you're wholeheartedly, you're like, well, I don't understand why this didn't work out. I did everything right. I have integrity. I have character. I'm an honest soul. Well, you can't be really taken advantage of, can you? They know you're not going to cut corners, so they're not going to choose you. They want someone that's going to reach their hand out and they can put something in it, or they can transfer it to your bank account. And that's just how it goes. But guess what? The good news is the 5-dimensional timeline, that doesn't even matter. That's inconsequential, because in the 5-dimensional timeline, guess what it's all about? It's not about greed. It's not about anger. It's not about hate. And it's not about fear. It's about love and joy and compassion and forgiveness. And if you can reach those emotions, those that you've harmed, you can say, please forgive me, with all sincerity. Guess what? You're going to raise your vibration. When you raise your vibration, you're going to see and exist in a completely different dimension. And that's how it's going to go. Hey, Hamano, thanks for joining us. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. So we can't advance our abilities if we're blocking ourselves. We can't advance our abilities. If you're being blocked and you're stressed and your heart's going, oh, and you're nervous because you don't want to do anything wrong, you're worried if you're going to pay your mortgage or you're buy food for your family, and you're just, like for me, I'm in the matrix working and I don't feel well. And guess what? I have to go to work tomorrow, even if I don't feel well, unless I'm throwing up. I have to go there because I need to pay my bills just like you do. We are all regular Joes. We are getting there. And you know what? The meek shall inherit the earth. And that's how it's going to go. So we're going to have advanced abilities. It's coming. It is coming. Prepare yourself. It's like nothing you can imagine. It sounds almost like a fairy tale. Sounds like a little bit of a farce. What exactly does that mean? Advanced abilities. Well, you probably can't even imagine because it sounds bizarro. It sounds kind of impossible, miraculous, and it is. You are going to have those abilities, and you are going to have those abilities because you're accepting more light, you're going to the light, you're raising your vibration, and you are going to expand your awareness the more you become aware. Now hey, Craig. Hello, hope you feel good soon. Thank you so much. So do I. I've had tea today. I had chicken soup. I kind of had a piece of pizza because I thought, oh, what the heck? Because I'm just trying to feel good. Lots of tea, throat lozenges, and I'm going to get through it. I'm not giving up. So what do you believe? We're going to get on to materialism in about 2 seconds. So what do you believe? What do you really believe? And when I say that, that sounds like a very generalized term, doesn't it? Well, I mean about the earth. What do you believe? And what is it that you have doubt about? Do you have any doubt about what's going on out there? Do you sense that we kind of might have been bamboozled or tricked in the past and we were led down a road? They said, get in line. Follow that guy over there. Don't go off over here. I'm going to tell you a personal story. When I was in kindergarten, I had such a mind of my own. I left the classroom and went out and played on the swings by myself when I was 5 years old. And I remember they came out looking for me by myself right near a main street because I just was never following the rest of everyone. I was never a conformist. I decided that young I was going to be a rebel. I was not the rebel that creates havoc out there, the rebel that knows there's another and believes there's another reality. Do you believe that? So are you willing to let go of your old mindset? I think you are. And what does that mean? Well, all these belief systems that we were told that were real, everything that was real, it's going to take time. It's not overnight. And those out there that haven't figured it out yet, we don't want to penalize them. We don't want, and we're not going to say, told you so when they figure everything out. We want to help them. We want to hold their hand and say, it's going to be okay. You're going to be safe. And we're going to remember our mantras. I am strong. I am powerful. I'm courageous. And I am safe. I am safe is very important. When you don't feel safe is when you kind of get rapid heartbeat. You start to kind of have perspiration. And your mind starts looping. We spoke about looping thoughts. You're trapped in your mind. It's like when you got called on when you were in school. I never liked to be called on because I had that speech problem. So I never wanted to raise my hand. And when the teacher picked on me, I went, ugh, and I couldn't answer. Just like when I was taking tests. That's how it's been for us. We've been in a state of panic and fear. So we're getting out of that and we're imagining from the bottom of our spine, our root chakra, and we're going to pull it all up. And we're going to get all of our power that we have within us. Because let me share you have much more power. If you were in a position where it was life or death, you would be surprised about how much power and strength that you really could have. You have that within you. You can get to it at any moment you want. It's all about how you think. Do not let anyone tell you can't do something. That's why we speak about our destiny in front of us in our palms of our hands. What is your destiny? What are you deciding to create? Because your thoughts are so powerful. They are so powerful. They carry a charged impulse. You know this, don't you? And you can create outcomes. You can change outcomes through your thoughts. So you're going to begin to get daily downloads. If you have not already, you're getting daily downloads. It's going to be kind of exciting. It's been exciting for me, a little strange. I thought, I'm a little cuckoo if this is what's happening to me, and I'm going to share what those are exactly during your ascension. And all the light codes, ancient healing DNA light codes. So we are not alone. I'm sharing this with you. Do you know that we're not alone? And what do I mean by that? How could we ever think we're alone? Now, I don't know how many of you I'm going to lose when I hold this up. This is a book just on extraterrestrials. Are we alone? I don't think so. Oh, they have clones in here. I should read that little chapter. And we are not alone. And we are going to be seeing this in the future. Wake up, wake up, wake up. We are going to be seeing ships. Now, do we really know what happens beyond the clouds? There's ether up there. We know that. Nikola Tesla realized there was ether. And ether is very powerful. And we just don't even utilize ether. It's one of the elements of nature. And they try to say that when you look that up online, guess what you find out? They try to say it's evil or it's made up, or, they try to say it's a conspiracy theorist. We're not conspiracy theorists. I don't even want to hear that term anymore. We are truth seekers. Yes, we are, aren't we? And so we are going to discover there's going to be disclosure, 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 disclosure. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, she was right. Let me go see, what did she say about that? Because how could I really be having contact and communication with these sorts? It's not a dream. It's real. It's not a dream. It's real. So we are going to together have love, compassion, and we're going to accept each other, and we're going to tell each other that we are good enough as is. You're a worthy being of light. You're a worthy being of light. And let me remind you, we're going to get onto materialism now. If you feel as though that you're out in the physical reality, maybe you're with family members, maybe you're at work and you sense, you know what, this is bothering me, this situation. We spoke about observing energy. Every situation from now on and circumstance that you encounter, when you go out into a public place, maybe it's someone's home, sit back and see if you receive any kind of impressions, which is going to be a flash of information, or you're going to sense in your body that something is not right here. And maybe you should back away and not go head on into the situation. Now, if you encounter someone who's kind of ranting, or they have a temper, they're dramatic, and you're saying, oh, this is too much for me. I'm getting a headache. I can't leave this situation. I'm in my job, or whatever it is. Take your arm and put it across your heart. So your elbow is protecting your heart. So you're not feeling it. Now, if you get some kind of pain in your head, say, go away, leave my head. Because there are those out there that don't realize that they have junk attached to them, something kind of dark that's influencing them. Okay, so let's get into it. Materialism. This is the most expensive pen that you've ever seen. No, it's not. I got it at CVS today. And so we've really kind of grown up around a person's self-worth is based on their money and their profession. We've kind of been trained to believe that if we have an amazing home, if we have beautiful clothes, if we have a fantastic job, if we're impressive, that's important. Materialism has been something that we've all been striving for. Get out of the way. I want to get to the prize. Getting stepped on. It's not about this. It's more about what you have. And so to consider material possessions and physical comfort more important than spiritual values is what's going on. More or less, we don't care about how someone feels. We care about what stuff they have. I don't know if you've ever encountered where you've gone out, maybe it's in a school or at your place of work, or it might be in your community. It might even be with family members and friends. And if you didn't have certain material goods, possessions, you were not really engaged with. It's happened to me. You didn't have people that really wanted to talk to you because they didn't think you were good enough for them, because they believe that materialism is the most important thing. It wasn't about your heart. They weren't saying, oh, well, that's a nice person. They didn't care about that. They only cared about what you had. Where do you live? What's your address? Let me Google their address. That's what people do. They stalk other people. They look up and see what they have. I mean, social media is very much about what you have, isn't it? Everyone, what they look like, what they do, whatever it is. what their occupation is, what their career is, and what they wear. It's all about that. It's so much emphasis on what you have. So to be dependent upon physical processes, possessions such as clothes, shoes, handbags, cars, electronic equipment, gadgets, and a home, there's two types of materialism. This is interesting. I didn't even know this. I look things up and I say, what is this all about? Because I know what materialism is. And that's why I wanted to bring this up, because here we are, and I'm primarily speaking about love and joy and positive emotions and how I cherish you. And I'm not really speaking about, like, wow, look what I'm wearing today, because it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't really matter. There's two types of materialism. One is defensive and anxiety, and that's driven. People get materialism because they're defensive and they have anxiety. And then there's another, to be bold and to be offensive. So they like to be like, this is what I have, check me out. And that's what they want to do. They want to show off. They want to be able to brag about something. And look, we've all been privy to this. We've all said, oh, I really want this or I want that. Hey, I've wanted things in my life, but I don't really, I try to have this balance, or I'm not saying that's all there is, obviously. There's pretty things out there. We all want some pretty things. So based on attitudes to money, what's your attitude towards money? And this is important, because I'm not saying that we shouldn't have abundance. We should have abundance. We are beautiful beings of light. We deserve abundance. We deserve to have things. I'm not saying that we don't want to have things. I want to have a beautiful home. I want to have a little yellow sports car. But I'm saying, what's the emphasis? Is little Elsa less important? No. Elsa's important. My family members are important. My friends and my loved ones are far more important than a little yellow sports car. That's all I'm saying. So why do people become materialistic? Why do you care? Why does anyone care? Well, because they feel insecure. They feel like they're not good enough, so they want to make up for it, and they want to put their focus on something else. And they want to distract from what's going on in here. They don't want to look at themselves, and maybe they don't feel good about themselves. So it's a way of saying, hey, look what I have. I have so much here, and it doesn't matter if I have some kind of strange behavior or something bad has happened to me, because I have this over here, this beautiful materialistic possession. Maybe they have economic fears. Maybe they're scared of rejection. And it's like when you're in school, everyone wants to have the right shoes or the right clothes because they don't want to be made fun of. And that's what we are kind of taught at a young age. So we grow up saying that's really important. We want to be liked. And it's the same thing with conforming. Why do people conform? Because they want to be liked. They don't want to be man out. Do you want to be in a group of people and everyone answers yes to the question, you say no? Why? Because everyone's going to turn and look at you. Let's just be aware of this. That's all this is. It's just about, so whether or not because of rejection, economic fears, or believe this one, thoughts of dying, people turn to materialism because they're scared of dying. I would never have thought that. I think that's the biggest fear, and I've shared that with you. The biggest fear, it's not spiders, it's not mice, which I don't like either of those. It's the fear of dying. People have the fear of dying. And also, it's how you were raised. What was your role models? Your parents, those around you, what was their focus? You might have become envious of others. Maybe you didn't have much when you were a kid and you decided, well, I'm always going to have everything. I'm never going to be without. And you became a hoarder about material possessions. It might be time to let that go. We're going to get on to what to do if you are materialistic, if you're obsessed about stuff. And, our models and our values are important. So what are some ways to overcome materialism? Now, I know anyone who's joining us here, I really appreciate you coming tonight. And I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mary Amy. I'm coming from New York. So some of the ways. So number one, Let's know that you are not what you own. You are not what you have. You are not what you possess. That stuff is separate from you. That's something material. That's something, an object. It's not you. It's not you. So you have to kind of differentiate and realize that that's not as important as you've been taught to believe. It's just not. It's not important. 2, you want to start to create goals and challenges and maybe kind of get yourself out of that mindset of wanting so much. Now, again, I'm going to say to you, it's okay to want things. I'm saying if this is all you're thinking about, if this is what you dwell on over and over again, because it's probably a distraction from looking inward. 3, what about relationships? Are your relationships fulfilling you? Are your relationships healthy? So look into your relationships. So 1 again was, you're not what you own. This is not what you are. It's a thing. It's just a pen. This shirt is just a piece of fabric. Hey, Tommy, thanks for joining us. And again, create some goals and challenges so you're not really focusing on getting all that stuff. And what about your relationships? Now, 4, how about service to others, not service to self? 51% of those out there that their thoughts and actions are about serving others are service to others. Those out there that 95% of their thoughts are all about servicing themselves, it's all about them. They just think it's me. So we want to get away from that. Now, 5, you want to think of experiences are more important than possessions. These are some ways to overcome materialism. Maybe have some passion about your interests. Make a list. We always speak about your 5 humongous goals. What are they? What are you trying to reach for? Do you want to be a novelist? Do you want to paint a picture? Do you want to go camping? Spend time in nature? Change your career? Whatever it is, you have 5 humongous goals. And you know what? I have to say, I bet they're not even as big as you think. I bet these goals aren't even as big as you realize. They're probably not. You think they're humongous and maybe they're not. You've just put them so far out. Let's bring them right here. Let's bring those 5 humongous goals right here. And let's anticipate that you are going to have those within a year. You're going to have that mindset. You are going to have, my relationship is fulfilling. Well, that's good to know, Tommy. Good job. Aces for you. Anna, I had a family member say to me, Mom, you never say aces. Oh, well, now I gave it away. All right. Now, last but not least, how about we use money to free and not chain yourself? Let's all begin to go basic. Let's go basic. Let's just say, guess what? I do that all the time. When I look at my paycheck, I say, first I have this long list, and then I say, well, can't get that, got to do that, got to pay the Con Ed. So it's really about what do you really need? So let's go basic. Let's consider that. Now, we're going to move on to the 5D. The 5D. Are you ready for the 5D? I am. I'm so ready for the 5D. Oh my goodness, I'm spilling my water. Hey, John Lomax, let go of hate and anger. Embrace the love within yourself. Wait a second. I don't remember you ever, John Lomax. You're new. Where are you coming from? We have Hamano from Transylvania. We have Craig. I'm trying to remember where Craig is. Don't tell me, Craig. I'm going to find you. You know I get so lost on this. John Lomax, where are you coming from? California. How did you find me? Or find us, I should say. Okay, now where did I just write your name? Wow. Well, thanks for joining us. Did you find me on social media? CA. I love the name. I wish I could pronounce that. Saskatchewan, California. I'm so bad at I butcher names. I butcher words. Everyone knows that. All right, so let's get into the 5D. I'm so glad we have newbies here. Some newbies. We have some newbies. Did I grab any angel photos? I don't think I did. How is that possible? I always grab angel photos. Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to use this as an angel photo because this is the light. This is where we're all going together. We are all going together. We are a community. Now, I truly believe, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that as we raise our vibration, right now it seems as though we might be the minority. However, it's not going to last much longer. There's so many changes going on. And what I mean by that is it looks like on the outside, because when we receive press or information, and that might come through in some of these major networks, the mainstream media, those are all paid programming. Those are all basically owned by the elite. And so it's their agenda. So we really don't know kind of what's going on below, behind everything. And there's a lot of exciting changes going on. And what do I mean by that? I mean that things aren't what they seem. I'm hearing that, for example, the whole income tax, what's going on with the income tax, and that we're not going to be, it's not even going to be there anymore. We're not going to be paying the IRS. We're going to be paying a flat tax rate. And I've said that. So it would be like, we're not taxed on our work. We're going to be taxed on items. I don't know if you've heard that. Also, let's see, a lot of these political leaders are taken down and we just don't even realize it. But you can kind of see it because some of them just instantly retired. And why did they retire? Because they got into trouble and everything that they were doing was uncovered. And why did that happen? And that happened because of the light that's coming onto the earth right now. There is light coming on. We've spoken about the solar flash. I have that little map right here. Has anyone seen this map? Look at this map. So there's this famous map. This is a piece of it. Okay, and you can see right in the middle, the great solar flash. And the great solar flash, they say, is coming between now and 2024. Hey, geez, Mom, thanks for joining us. And the great solar flash is going to basically encourage everyone to awaken. And when that happens, you and I are at the front of the line and we're saying, oh, this is what has been going on. And everyone who hasn't been awakened until that point is probably going to be in a state of shock. And we have to be there for them. We have to have our hearts out for them. We can't say, oh, I told you so. You should have been listening to me. That's not compassionate. We're raising our vibration. We are going to the light. Now, when we go to the light, what's going to happen? We're going to be operating in a different capacity. All of our thoughts are going to kind of join together and we are not even going to realize how powerful we are until that moment. It's just going to change instantly. It's going to be a shock for those who are not awake until that moment. However, we are going to get through it. It's good news. This is all good news. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just sharing with you that's what's on. We're on the threshold of this happening. I mean, for example, here, this all talks about everything. Artificial intelligence, which I'm not for that, by the way. We spoke about artificial intelligence on Tuesday night. And I'm not into that artificial intelligence. I'm not into the brain chips or the ID that's man-made. They're going to take away our DNA. I'm not into this medication that they've been giving everyone. Not into that. I'm not into anything that's pressure. People have to be able to make their own choice. They know within them. Do you have answers within you? Have you realized within you some information? Now, as we work on our psychic phenomenon, we're going to get into that in a little bit. Look at me. I spilled water right here. That looks terrible. Sorry about that. That's just water. When we get into psychic phenomenon, you're going to be practicing. And every single time you practice, it's going to help you open more and more all your channels. And you might be receiving information aside from when we're practicing. And what do I mean? Maybe when you're waking up, maybe when you're going to sleep, maybe you're in the middle of a conversation with someone and you get a whiff of something, a smell or a taste, or you hear something. And it's not in your life. It's because it's related to that person. I'm getting ringing in my ear just saying that. And so these are the changes that are going to happen to you as you're ascending, because your body is going to take on kind of a new identity. Now, all of this is already within you. It's not like it came out of nowhere. It's what's in you. It just was never exposed. It was never allowed to be. So we have to begin more and more to say, I accept, I accept, I accept. So let's be ready for 5D. We are becoming ready right now. Now, I'm saying this because, when you ask for something and you say, oh, let's say, for example, whatever it is, it could be anything. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a material item. And when you get it, all of a sudden there's some kind of adjustment. And you say, well, this isn't what I thought it was. And ideally, you said, oh, that's what I want. But then when you get into the situation, it's kind of, it's exhausting. It's like when I started this job in the Matrix. I want this job, I want this job, I want this job. And then when I get the job, I said, wow, this is not what I thought it was. So let's know that we have to prepare for the 5 dimension, the 5D timeline. We are headed to a new timeline. We've been living in the 3-dimensional timeline. And what's in the 3-dimensional timeline? Well, we know we've, been there. It's very dense. It's about what you have. Like we said, the three C's, consumerism, capitalism, and competition. That's what it's about. And they said to us, well, that's what everyone does. Don't take it personally. Don't take that personally. And that's a way of just crushing you. Why do we have to have so much pressure all the time? We have to go out there and realize that we can just choose the reality we want to live in. And that's why we're expanding our consciousness and our awareness, and we're changing our belief system. Our belief system has been programmed. We've been told these things over and over again. And now we say, oh, well, that's how it is. It's the only way for it to be. And when I say to some of my friends, most of my friends are understanding me, but when some of those that I know say, I say to them, well, it's another belief system. We don't have to do all this. And they're like, what are you talking about? Of course we do. We shouldn't have to do anything. If we all come from the same mindset and all of our thoughts are collectively in this consciousness, that's how we're going to create this new reality. Just like this other civilization was created. You think that was created in 2 seconds? No, those powers that be decided this is how it's going to go. Everyone's going to have a 9-to-5 job. Everyone's going to go to 12 years of schooling. And we're going to keep them in that classroom so they can't pay attention and they can't discover who they are. They can't discover the gold that they have within them. So they kept us basically under wraps. And now you're waking up. Now you're like, oh, whoa, what's going on out here? I don't want to live like that anymore. And you know why you're discovering this is because there's so many truths that just don't make any sense. So we are going to become prepared and equipped and organized for your new life, your new beginning, the new earth, and this 5th dimension. So we are basically altering our timeline. We're moving into a different timeline. We've been in this 3-dimensional timeline and we're jumping timelines. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. You're jumping to a new timeline. How do you jump to a new timeline? Do you understand what a timeline is? You're on a certain timeline right now. You've been on a timeline, and this is the trajectory of your life. It's going to go the same every single day. You're going to go back to the same place. You're going to see the same people. And then you're going to do that 30 or 40 or 50 years. And then you're going to retire and you're going to pass away. Pretty much after you retire, it seems like people pass away because they're not really excited anymore. They have no hope. They give up hope because now their life is over. I've heard that so many times. We're not doing that. No, no, no. We are actually realizing that we can create our reality. We can create whatever we want. We can envision it. We can go into a meditative state. We're going to do that tonight. And we can see and we can visualize exactly what we want. We're going to bring it close to us. And we're going to put light all around us. So are you ready for this new physical reality? It's changing your life. Maybe you're going to feel scared, but let's get excited about it. It's time to grow and evolve personally. So we have to have some motivation. Here's some things that we must focus on. We have to have motivation. Like, when a kid is about to go out to a ball game and they're all excited, or they're going to put on a show at school, or maybe Christmas morning. That's the excitement we want to have for our lives. We don't want to be dulled down. We don't want to say, oh, whatever, who cares? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to go about my business. No, you have something within you. You have a spark of light inside of you that you're going to bring up and bring out. And everything that you ever wanted since you were a child, you're going to have. And that's what you're going to create. You can't give up. You have to lift it all up. Now, are you ready? You're going to replace you're going to replace fear with hope, and you're going to have a knowing that you're going to be able to become successful, and the most authentic sides of you and your characteristics and your advanced abilities are going to come forward, and you're going to accept this, and you're not going to let it go, and you're going to keep this train of thought, and you're going to keep moving. And then just before you know it, like I say, light on the horizon, which is I would have these dreams, and I'd get up in my dream, and there would be a rectangle window, and I'd go to the window, and I'd look out the window, and what would I see? I would see a sunrise, and it would be beaming and light on the horizon. Good things are coming beyond your view. A difficult situation will improve. Beyond your view, something good is coming right around the corner. Right around the corner, you're going to get there. You can't give up. I believe in you. So you're going to light a fire within you like dynamite. You're going to blow yourself. You're going to literally stick like dynamite within inside of you and be like, I'm going to do this. This is what I want. I want that power behind you. Get that excited about your life. I'm going to tell you right now, nobody cares out in the physical reality about your life. You're the only one who cares. Maybe a mom cares about their child. No one really cares. Our family and friends, they kind of get tired of things after a while. Like, okay, I've heard that already. You have to care. You have to create the reality that you want. Okay, now we're getting away from the 9 to 5. All of the fear-based, the government, the medical, the education, the history. Do we know if any of this is true? The fear-based TV news. Now, let's be ready for free will, love, compassion, extraterrestrials, peace, and angels and God. And that's where we're going. Ta-da! Okay. Let's get on to, before we do psychic phenomenon, because that happens in a little bit. We always hit usually around the 1 hour mark. Let's get into light codes. Now, what I did today was someone said to me, Mary, what does this say? Spunky energy. Yes, I do. I guess I do have spunky energy. I'm telling you, I'm rallying. And then I'm going to go to sleep. So what are downloads? If you've ascended, if you've awakened, now maybe you're a starseed, maybe you're a light worker, and you are ascending. And what does that mean? You're physically changing, you're emotionally changing, your identity is changing. More of you is becoming apparent. You might have memories that come forward. And unfortunately, this is the bad part of it. You have to do dark night of the soul, which is you have to go through all of your issues. And I had so many, let me tell you, it went for a whole year plus. And I would encounter, it's like the same situation over, but I didn't deal with it. I kind of turned away and I didn't deal with it. Or there was something within me that I covered up because I was ashamed of it. Do you have anything within you that you're ashamed of and you say, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to look at it. And you hid that part of yourself. Well, as you ascend and you wake up, you have to begin to accept yourself. That is very important. We want to begin to accept ourselves more and more and accept the information that you receive. Now, are you receiving light codes? I don't know. Now, I've been receiving these, I would say, download light codes, and they come as bursts of information. And I grabbed my dream journal because I realized that I wrote them in here. Now, I have paper somewhere. I know that I've written them down somewhere, but I think there's over 50 of them that I had. And I'm going to just read a few of them to you because I think that it would be interesting for you. And I'm going to show you some pictures because we're a family of light. So I thought, you know what? Let me share with them. And then maybe they'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. And I don't care. Like, I'll show you what's in here. So downloads during ascension are bursts of information. Now, maybe they're going to come through as a vision, a dream, a lucid dream. So for me, let me get into detail so you understand what I'm referring to. So basically, this is what started happening. November 24th, 2021 was the first time I had a download, a light code. So I woke up. I think I was maybe I was going to sleep. I was going to sleep. And then all of a sudden I saw, let me see if it's even in this book. Maybe I have it in here. It actually is. So basically I saw, and it looked like, I don't know if you can see this. It looked like what I wrote here was, there were words and symbols and then a gray background. So initially when I started receiving light codes, downloads, it was very, very primitive looking, almost like the way a child would write it, or emojis. And I think that what I realized is this was a way of having me slowly accept what this was instead of throwing it in my face. Because if I was going to sleep and all of a sudden I saw some kind of crazy creature in my face, I probably would shut it down. But because it came through in just baby steps, I started to accept it, and then I waited for it to happen. I would want it to happen because it was exciting. What was the next thing I was going to see? So we invite it. If we invite it into our lives, because this is the next step. This is the next thing that's going to happen to us. I'm sharing something with you that is where the world is going. Now, maybe this sounds very unbelievable. Maybe it sounds supernatural. Whatever you think, it really has happened to me, at least from my perspective. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen to you. Am I the only one? No, I've spoken to other people I know, and it's happened to them in different ways. So everyone, it's going to be a different experience. So your intuition is giving you a message. So some downloads are going to be random, and some are going to be very specifically tailored to you. That's information you're supposed to receive. So it's going to basically give you some lightning fast, higher self information. Maybe it's cosmic wisdom. It might be foretelling events. These are the downloads that you can anticipate happening to you. So are you going to have it happen during the day? Maybe. I'm not saying it's definite that it's when you're sleeping or waking up. I'm not saying that. I'm just having you be aware that it's possible. So it's going to be like a flash of information that you receive, but it's not going to feel like a normal dream. It's going to feel like a physical experience, because when this happens, you feel light within you and your body gets a little bit warmer. So it's going to be very high frequency communications and direct from source. So for me, it was directly from, it looked like, to begin with, like these guys kind of like eat extraterrestrials, like gray aliens, but it was very simplistic initially. So first there was words and symbols. Then I saw, basically, I'll show you. It looks like this, if you can see this. It looked like a lot of different extraterrestrial faces. This was in the very beginning. This was November 2021. And so then I had another one. Let's see. So November 2021, was the first time it happened to me, and it happened all night long. I didn't sleep. And then if I look forward in my little dream journal, because I was keeping track, let's see. I don't think I had any for quite a while. Let's see. Then here we go. Then here's a download. So this was December, all my papers are falling, December 14th. And so then what this was I saw little spaceships, and they were all kind of coming down like they were landing. So it's like they're preparing me to tell me this is what's going to happen. Now, why are they telling me? Why are they telling me? Why did they pick me? Because I guess maybe I was open to it. I had done some interviews the year before, and I spoke to some other intuitives and healers, and they had experiences like this. So I don't know if maybe that's why it happened to me, or it was always going to happen to me, but it's possible to happen to you. So it's heightened intuition, healing abilities. All your clair senses will begin to improve. Now you're going to become more creative, and maybe you're going to receive information from someone like this. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be from an angel. Like I said, everyone's going to be different. So there's going to be signs. The downloads of light and frequencies are blessings and guidance. So all of this is to guide us. Now, I know this sounds like, wow, this is far-fetched, the stuff she's telling me. Don't you think I know that? I know it is. It's not an easy thing to kind of wrap your brain around. But do we really believe we're the only beings on the whole entire galaxy, infinite in the universe? I don't know. I mean, until we see it with our own eyes, like when I see it in the physical reality, then it's going to all seem so much more real to me. Still, it seems very distant. Even though I'm speaking about it, it hasn't happened to me in the physical reality. It's happened to me in my mind. So there's signs, a sensation your body is not going to recognize. It's like a wow feeling. Okay, so that was like in December. Obviously, I'm not going to show you every one of these. I'm going to show you a few just so you kind of get an understanding of what I've been going through. So one night, here's one. Let me just take all these papers out because this is really annoying me. One night, I received something, and this is not very good drawing here, but you can see it's like some kind of design. It looked like sacred geometry. So it was almost like when you're a kid and you have one of those kaleidoscopes. You know when you're a child and you do this and you look in it and it changes form, but it's all these pretty colors? That's what it looked like. And that's called sacred geometry. And then also there was light moving by. Let's see. So this was a weird one. This was a really weird one. If you guys are still with me on all this. Are you still with me? So this one, what's this all about? This one was in December, and I remember, so there was spaceships hiding behind clouds, like they were cloaked, and then there was this one guy, and he had facial hair, and he was speaking to me. Now, I don't know, when they speak to me, I don't understand what they're saying. Well, how would I understand? Now, when a lot of time, they don't speak with their words. They speak with their mind, so they're sending you information. If I could say generally, you can right away, you can determine if they're good or they're coming from a nefarious place, sinisterish, because there are those out there that are. And then, so the clouds and the spaceships were moving. So it's not like I'm seeing something and it's just like a picture like this. There's literally, it's a dimensional view of something. And I'm telling you, I wear contacts. I can't see if I take my contacts out. So somehow I see everything with perfect vision. It's the strangest thing. Okay, so there's going to be signs. You're going to have this wow feeling, and you're going to feel emotionally, have feelings of joy. And why am I telling you all this? Why do I share everything with you? So that you can learn to maybe have acceptance for this and maybe bring it into your life. And then the faster we all bring these ideas and beliefs into our lives, then the quicker we're going to get to the 5 dimension, the new civilization. Now, we're going to go into some meditation tonight, and we're going to actually ask for some of this to come into our lives if you choose to. Because one of the ways to get to this, to have downloads and light codes, is through meditation, through stillness. And so we're going to get into that in just 5 minutes or less than 5 seconds. How do you create this experience? Number 1, you're going to allow it. You're going to release control of your soul. You're going to say, you know what? I'm going to try this. This sounds like a big story. This sounds, could it be possible? Is what she's saying real? I don't know. But you know what? You won't know until you try it. So let's allow and let's release. This is all suggestions. Nothing is a have to. So maybe you're going to do what I did. You're going to get something that you're going to have to be able to keep a record of it so that you have a record. And I kept a record and I wrote it down every single time something like this happened to me. And there was over 45 or 50 of these visits that I had. And the last one that I had was last weekend. And then, but I don't get them really much anymore. So we're going to have trust and be in the moment, and we're going to meditate, and we're going to have stillness. And these are energetic downloads from spirit guides or angels or infinite source or extraterrestrials. Now we're deleting old programming and we're having new beliefs come into. So we have to let go of other stuff that's in our minds. We have to let go of holding on to the past, and it's taking up so much room in our brains and so much room in our spirit and our heart. We have to let go of that because that's not serving us anymore, is it? You don't need it. So we're going to let go of all of that, and we're going to try together right now because I think it might be a fun experience. And let's see what happens. Now, when we try really, really hard and we try to control things, it's not going to work. What I found is we're going to offer this opportunity. And in the past, when I've tried to make this happen, it didn't happen in that moment, but it sure as heck happened within 24 hours. So we're going to invite this to happen if you choose to. Let's do this together. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, like we always do, we're going to close our eyes. Let me take a sip of water without spilling it. Okay, before we get into this, I want to remind you, if you ever have a chance to get some little gemstones, they're very positive for you to have around. They're from the earth. They're nature. I have them all over my home. You can put them out with a full moon and they can charge. All right, so let's close our eyes if you choose. And let's relax our body. Let's just maybe tense up and let go. And tense up and let go. And let's just really allow this to happen. Let's say to ourselves, you know what? I'm going to trust. I'm going to be in this moment. I'm going to let go of any thoughts. I'm going to just relax like a rag doll. We say a rag doll. We're going to just begin with some minor. It's not going to be a big long time because we have to get right into making this suggestion like we have been with our clairsenses. Let's let out some breaths. So we want to take away any stress that we have with our breathing. We want to push back all of our thoughts, push them away. Because we're not talking about critical thinking or reasoning. We're tuning into our clairsenses. We're going to try to advance ourselves. We're heading into a new direction. This is a new beginning. We're trying to have an experience and we're allowing it to happen. We're surrendering to it. We're like, might as well try it. Why not? What the heck? So we're letting it go. We're pushing away. And now we're going to drop down. Oh, let's do some breathing quick. So we're going to do 3 inhales and exhales because we want to have this experience, don't we? We're going to have 3 inhales and exhales. We're going to try to have a natural breathing. And we're going to just focus on our breath. We're just focusing on our breathing. That's all that we're putting our attention to. And if any thoughts come in to distract us, we're going to put the thoughts, push them away. So let's do 3. I'm going to do them with you. So let's do some inhales and exhales. And I'm inhaling through my nose and breathing out my mouth. All right, so we are really imagining that we have stillness all within us. We are relaxing our breath. We are giving our heart a break emotionally. We're in a safe place. We're feeling good. We have a natural rhythm to our breath. Our body is relaxed. So we're feeling very relaxed. And now I'd like you to imagine yourself dropping down into your physical body, all your clear senses. You're surrendering to your clear senses, pushing back thoughts up into your mind. You're just surrendering to your senses, which is your healing, your clairvoyance, your third eye, your smell, your taste, your heart, your feeling, your claircognizance, your knowing, maybe your sense of touch. And you're just allowing anything to come through, any kind of impressions. Maybe it's going to be mental, a mental picture. Maybe it's going to be a sound you hear, maybe a flash, a sensation, whatever it is. So we're accepting it. We're saying we're allowing it. We're having self-confidence we can do this. And now I'm going to make a suggestion. I'm going to make a suggestion that you are going to, and we are all, I guess if you're saying we're all doing it, that we are going to decide to travel to another dimension and invite any kind of other entity in, which would be, it's up to your choosing. You can say it broadly that you're inviting any entity in, which would be a spirit, an angel, an extraterrestrial. I guess that's it. Any kind of entity. And so we're going to just invite that in. And so we're going to choose one of our clear senses. Now I'm going to choose, or two. I'm going to choose my hearing, and I'm going to choose my heart. And I'm going to just travel to another realm and see. And we're going to put that out there. Now, maybe it's not going to happen today. Maybe it's going to happen for you tomorrow. Maybe it's going to happen today. We're going to just allow whatever is going to be. Remind yourself that you're at peace, you're at stillness, you're relaxed. You've made physical contact with all of your senses. Okay, I'm going to be quiet and let's see if you receive any impressions. Okay, I don't know if you received anything. I did. It's very strange because I've never tried this when I'm fully awake. I've only tried this when I'm about to go to sleep. And so I heard, because usually I hear something and then I look down. That's what I tend to do. I don't know if that was enough time for everyone. I hope I gave you enough time. And so I looked down. I heard this sound like it was a zigzag. It sounded like some kind of, how do I say it? You know, a kid's toy on a floor making these zigzag sounds. And I heard kind of a zigzag sound. And then I saw two faces. But it was very, very, very muddled. It wasn't muddied. It wasn't like it was very, very clear. And I said, is that them? And they were right here. Like when I closed my eyes, they were in my view right here. And they were similar to something like the gray alien that I showed you initially. But it was very, very quick. It was a flash. I invited them, and I actually specifically asked for extraterrestrials. I don't know if you asked for any. or what you asked for. So it's probably because I did that just now. I'm probably going to have another experience in the next few days. I don't know if this is something you're interested in. We try new things here. Why do we try new things? Because we're stretching our senses. We're opening ourselves up. Now, Saturday, I've been invited to do an interview with Athena in Truth, and she's a channeler. She's a channeler of consciousness, and I'm doing that on her channel, Athena in Truth, on Saturday. And that's what she does. She channels information. So she's going to these entities, and she's relaying information, and she goes into this kind of trance. When we were growing up, we always saw, there was kind of an old myth about fortune tellers, and a medium would sit around a round table, and they'd hold hands, and they'd do a seance, and they'd say, "Oh, I'm speaking to your Uncle Tom," or whoever it was, or Uncle Joe, or Aunt Anna, or whatever it was. That's really a channeler. And I'm going to be doing this video. I'm doing a YouTube video with this channeler named Athena in Truth. So it's going to be interesting because that's another experience. Hey, Bob Hardy. I saw something like a Birdman wearing a garnet crown and some symbols. Well, see there, it worked. Good. Well, you know what it is? It's like this. I have to share with you. Did I know how to do this all from the get-go? Heck no. This has been in the making. I've gotten to this point where I can give suggestions and have experiences, and it just takes time. And like I said, everyone's going to have a different experience. Maybe you're going to be highly advanced clairvoyant. You might be seeing the past, present, future of everyone you come in contact with. You might be so empathic that you are absorbing everyone's feelings, and secrets about their lives, someone's life, and they're not even telling you. Everything that I'm sharing is information that you're receiving from another source. No one told you. This is all you've just received it. It's like a miracle. No, it's not. It's just telepathy. We all can do this. Everyone on the planet can do this. Everyone. It's just that they have not tuned into it. It's just practice. Practice. So here's some other extraterrestrials. These are called Palladians, maybe Nordics. Also, I don't know if you consider yourself a star seed. A star seed is a highly evolved, intelligent, spiritual being from distant galaxies and faraway star systems. Infused with DNA activation codes, voila, that's kind of what we're speaking of. Starseeds come to planet Earth to heal some of the darkness and to usher in a new wave of creativity, love, and understanding. That's an explanation, isn't it? Not every starseed is here to heal, though. Some starseeds, such as Lyrians, come to Earth to experience life in a new 3D format and enables their soul to expand. So everyone here is for a different experience. What is the experience that you want? What is it that you would like? So when I say to you, you can create your reality, you can create this civilization. We can create whatever we want to have happen to us through our thoughts. If you block something from happening and you say, "Oh, can't do that," or you sabotage yourself and laugh at yourself, it's never going to happen for the next 2 weeks. So we want to open the floodgates, allow what you want to happen to you. If you want to be the most successful at blank, whatever it is, put it out there and mean it and say it and own it and have the confidence, because it's within you. Because if you are saying it, it's something you're supposed to do. There's no one out there that knows what your destiny is. You're the only one who knows your destiny. I don't know your destiny. You don't know my destiny. We don't know each other's destiny. We know within ourselves. So when we have alignment, we want to have alignment. We want to have our thoughts, our words, and our actions all be in alignment. So you can't think something and then do something else, because that's not alignment. It's like you need the three together. to get there. You have to remind yourself you're in the moment. You have to have gratitude. Now, also, before we go, I'm going to remind everyone to have the invisible line. Everyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Tonight, we have covered materialism. Get ready for the 5-dimension timeline and downloading Ascension. And I've also shared about being motivated and accepting. So imagine there's an invisible line surrounding you. And no one is allowed to come into your space physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually unless you give permission. If someone's giving you a hard time and you don't like it, say, you know what? I need a break. Back off. We have to protect ourselves. We are sacred beings of light. You are highly advanced. Now, as you awaken and you say, I don't want to live like that anymore. I don't want to live like that anymore. As you awaken, you're going to start to feel different because you're conveying your truth. You're expressing your truth. And we haven't been allowed to up until now. Now, if you don't express your truth, you're blocking your throat chakra. You don't want to do that, do you? You don't want to do that. You want to get and experience everything that you ever imagined. And that's where we're going together. So everyone, I really appreciate everyone coming here tonight. I'm so grateful for all of you. And I'll be back again tomorrow night. I missed Wednesday, so I decided I'd follow up. So everyone, I hope that I feel better and I get a good night's sleep so that I can be here tomorrow night. And I rallied and I did it. And Elsa's right here sleeping. She was acting very strange. I took her out earlier and then she was doing the scratching at the door like she did a few weeks ago. And I said, what's going on, Elsa? She needs a grooming. She's going to get one. All right, so everyone, I cherish you. You're a worthy being of light. You're highly advanced. So I'm spinning light and you're in the center of it. Now you can find me on all the social media. I'm on Twitter, Mary Amy Official, Facebook and Instagram, and my YouTube channel, like you're here right now, so you know about that. So I'm spinning light and you're in the center of it and you're making a wish. So make a wish. What's the wish? What's the best wish that you could imagine that you have? What is it? And I'm spinning it the other way. And I'm just visualizing light around you. And you're in the middle and you're making a wish. And I'm sending you the light. If you go out into public and you feel as though you're empathic and you're getting everyone's energy, imagine light around you and you can't be hurt. You won't feel bad anymore. So I'm here with you. I'm going to stay here with you. I'm here to help and heal and give suggestions and be here for you. So everyone be wonderful. Be well. Bye.